Hello and welcome, fellow night owls, as tonight we explore the lives of the most influential women in medieval history. Whether you're just settling into bed for the night or simply taking a relaxing break, I'm glad you've joined me for this journey back in time. As we begin, I'd love to know where in the world you're listening from and what time of day it is for you. Feel free to leave a comment and share. If you enjoy calm, historical storytelling like this, I invite you to subscribe to the channel for more soothing tales from the past. Before we dive into the stories of these remarkable women, let's take a moment to set the stage. The medieval period, often referred to as the Middle Ages, lasted from the 5th to the 15th century AD in Europe. It was a time of great change, conflict, and cultural development, marked by the rise and fall of empires, the spread of Christianity, and the emergence of new ideas and artistic traditions. While men held most positions of power during this era, there were also extraordinary women who defied societal limitations to leave their mark on history. Some ruled as queens and empresses, while others made significant contributions to religion, literature, and the arts. In this documentary, we'll explore the lives and legacies of several of these fascinating female figures. Our journey begins in the early medieval period with Empress Theodora of the Byzantine Empire. Born into a humble family in Constantinople around the year 500 AD, Theodora began her career as an actress and courtesan. In a remarkable twist of fate, she caught the eye of Justinian, a rising political star who would later become emperor. Despite her controversial past, Justinian was captivated by Theodora's intelligence, wit, and beauty. He married her in 525 AD, and when he ascended to the throne a few years later, Theodora became empress. As Justinian's partner in both life and governance, Theodora wielded significant influence over the empire. She played a key role in helping her husband navigate political crises and military campaigns. During the Nika riots of 532 AD, when angry mobs threatened to overthrow Justinian, it was Theodora who convinced him to stand his ground and assert his authority. Her courage and decisive action helped save his reign. Theodora also used her position to champion the rights of women and the downtrodden. She persuaded Justinian to pass laws that expanded women's property rights, gave mothers greater custody over their children, and prohibited the trafficking of young girls. She established a convent called the Metanoia to provide refuge and rehabilitation for former prostitutes. Theodora's legacy as a protector of women's interests was remembered long after her death in 548 AD. As we move further into the early medieval period, we encounter another influential woman of faith, Hilda of Whitby. Born into the Deiran royal family around 614 AD in what is now northern England, Hilda entered the monastic life as a teenager and rose to become one of the most important abbesses of her time. In 657 AD, she founded a monastery at Whitby on the coast of Northumbria. Under her leadership, Whitby became renowned as a centre of learning, attracting scholars and students from all over Britain and beyond. Hilda was known for her wisdom, diplomacy, and spiritual guidance. Kings and bishops sought her counsel on matters of church and state. In 664 AD, she hosted the famous Synod of Whitby at her abbey. This pivotal meeting brought together leaders of the Roman and Celtic Christian traditions to resolve disputes over the calculation of Easter and other religious observances. Hilda's role in facilitating this conference helped pave the way for the unity and growth of the early English Church. Hilda was also a mentor to many notable religious figures, including Caedmon, the earliest known English poet. According to legend, Caedmon was an illiterate cowherd who received the gift of poetic composition from God after Hilda encouraged him to join the monastery. Under her tutelage, he went on to create beautiful hymns and verses that are still remembered today. Hilda's influence as an educator and spiritual leader continued until her death in 680 AD. As we journey into the High Middle Ages, we encounter one of the most powerful and fascinating women of the 12th century, Eleanor of Aquitaine. Born around 1122 AD, Eleanor was the eldest daughter of William X, the Duke of Aquitaine, a wealthy and culturally sophisticated region in what is now southern France. As a young woman, she inherited her father's duchy, making her one of the most sought-after brides in Europe. In 1137, at the age of 15, Eleanor married Louis VII, the King of France. Their union brought Aquitaine under the French crown and made Eleanor queen. However, the marriage was troubled from the start. Eleanor was a strong-willed and independent woman who chafed at the constraints of court life and the pious, monastic lifestyle favored by Louis. The couple also failed to produce a male heir, which put a strain on their relationship. Despite these difficulties, Eleanor made her mark as Queen of France. She was a patron of the arts, particularly the troubadour poets of her native Aquitaine, and helped foster a renaissance of courtly love and chivalry. In 1147, she accompanied Louis on the Second Crusade to the Holy Land, leading a contingent of her own soldiers. Although the crusade was a military failure, Eleanor's presence on the battlefield was a testament to her courage and determination. Upon their return to France, Eleanor and Louis's marriage deteriorated further. In 1152, they obtained an annulment on the grounds of consanguinity. Just 8 weeks later, Eleanor married Henry Plantagenet, the young Duke of Normandy and Count of Anjou. 2 years later, when Henry ascended to the throne of England, Eleanor became queen once again. As Queen of England, Eleanor continued to wield significant political influence. She served as regent when Henry was away on military campaigns, and played a key role in governing their vast territories, which stretched from the Scottish borders to the Pyrenees. She also bore Henry 8 children, including 5 sons, 2 of whom would become kings of England. However, Eleanor's relationship with Henry was no less tumultuous than her marriage to Louis had been. Henry was a ruthless and controlling ruler who resented Eleanor's independence and political maneuvering. In 1173, Eleanor supported a rebellion against Henry by their eldest son, also named Henry. When the revolt failed, the king had Eleanor imprisoned for treason. She would remain under house arrest for the next 16 years. Eleanor outlived Henry and finally regained her freedom upon his death in 1189. In her final years, she continued to be a force in politics, helping to secure the succession of her favourite son, Richard the Lionheart, and later serving as regent for her youngest son, King John. Eleanor died in 1204 at the age of 82, having left an indelible mark on the history of France, England, and the medieval world as a whole. As we move further into the High Middle Ages, we encounter another powerful royal woman who challenged the gender norms of her time. Empress Matilda. Born in 1102, Matilda was the daughter of King Henry I of England and his queen, Matilda of Scotland. As a young girl, she was sent to Germany to be educated and later married the Holy Roman Emperor Henry V. When her husband died in 1125, Matilda returned to England as a widow, still in her early 20s. King Henry I's only legitimate son, William Adelin, had died in a shipwreck in 1120, leaving the English succession uncertain. To secure the throne for his bloodline, Henry named Matilda as his heir and made his barons swear fealty to her. This was a highly unusual move in a time when women were not considered suitable rulers in their own right.